I voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. And I became very disillusioned with what is happening to the Democratic Party in terms of allowing this incredibly noisy minority that call themselves the woke to hijack the party and to lead it away from center-left to far-left.
What is your problem with that element of the Democratic Party, the woke element, or as we in the Netherlands maybe would say, wakker? And that's the element that is especially concerned with Black Lives Matter, Me Too, gay rights. What is your problem with that vibe in the party of the Democrats?
Well, to keep it short, what they want to do is throw away the baby with the bathwater. Yes, they are concerned about a number of issues that we have here in the United States and in the wider Western liberal wealthy countries, where there is this enormous gap between the haves and the have-nots. And I think that what we need to do is to reform our institutions and have these conversations. But organizations and movements like the Black Lives Matter are saying we need to abolish the prison system, abolish the police, dismantle the entire system because it's sick to the core, it's racist, and so they want to dismantle and destroy, but they haven't quite figured out what they want to replace things with. We've seen things like this happen even in the Netherlands. You know, what is it that brought Pim Fortuyn to prominence? What is it that brought, what were the factors that brought Geert Wilders to prominence? And you're seeing some of these events. And it's very disappointing, in my view, for a major party like the Democratic Party to fixate for 4 years on nothing else but the persona of the president. And I think there is a huge consensus in the United States and outside that he is indeed rude and superficial and statistic, but that's not what we should be talking about.
Do you think that President Trump is doing a better job then, and did you vote for him?
I think when it comes to policies, he's doing a better job. He's not presidential. Let me say this to you. In 2016, Hillary Clinton made plain, as plain can be, and her campaign, that he was not presidential, and he got elected. So there's nothing new there. Then you go to 2020, and if your campaign is elect me just because I'm not Donald Trump, so I will not be surprised if Trump wins. And if he wins, yes, we're going to have a lot of, unfortunately, we're going to have a lot of violence on the streets, and we're going to have a lot of social unrest, which is what we've been having at least since the killing of George Floyd in May.
Now, what is considered as woke is, for example, the Black Lives Matter movement. Is that a movement that you think is bad for the Democratic Party, or a movement that Joe Biden should not listen to, for example?
The first time I had Black Lives Matter, it's made conscious of what we now call a phenomenon, police brutality. A young black man, any age black man, being stopped, being treated differently. And so that was something that was valuable. It was what I would call a legitimate grievance. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it starts to morph into something else. And now I ask everyone to go to their web and see what they're doing. And this movement or organization called Black Lives Matter is not talking about Black lives. They're not talking about improving the education of Black children. They're not talking about hiring more Black people. What they're talking about is dismantling and destroying the system. And there are more and more Black people who are coming out who are saying, these people don't represent us. It's our small businesses that are being destroyed. It's our women that are being subjected to violence. Black Lives Matter do not represent us. And they are a liability to the Democratic Party because they are their own party, part of the Democratic Party. And I would hope that the moderate Democrats would evict them and go back to the center.
So you, as an African American woman, do not feel represented?
Black Lives Matter movement? No, of course I don't represent. It's exactly what I left behind in Somalia and in Kenya and all those crazy dictatorships. But the Democratic Party, as a major party, the Republican Party as a major party, this whole idea called democracy, where you have debates and you say, let's meet in the middle, that's what I find attractive. Black Lives Matter, we don't want to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
We want to break everything down. That's extremist, that's wrong. The Democratic Party should evict those people from their midst.
You have two sons, sons who have sons of color. Are you nervous or anxious about their future in this country? Because what you see on the streets in America is a lot of police violence against African American men.
I don't see that. What I see is that, and I'm very nervous about it, it's the education system. I've never thought about my skin color. I think skin color is the most superficial trait of a human being. And I am nervous about this new culture, rather cult, that is trying to reduce every skin color to race.